Hey, what's going on, guys? So it's actually right after I made that little intro on the last video. Still 100 degrees inside this freaking garage. I'm actually kind of procrastinating until that shade moves a little bit closer over the engine bay, because I'm already sweating and I'm just standing. So unfortunately, my truck is having timing issues again. I don't know what happened. Truck ran great after I did the timing on it, but I think it's because of the tensioner. So I ended up finding the old part number of the tensioner. I noticed it was an updated part that did not have the ratcheting mechanism on there. So essentially what this does is once you build oil pressure once and this tensioner comes out, that little ratcheting mechanism does not let up on the tension. May it be the issue why the chain stretches by giving it too much tension and stuff like that. I have dealt with that on this motor where it made way too much oil pressure running 550 weight oil and always having perfect oil pressure. It actually did kill a chain guide. Let's see if I can find it in here somewhere. In my junk drawer. So this is essentially what happens when you build too much oil pressure, right? So it literally buried that tensioner in this thing, and I've kept these things forever just to remind me of certain things. That shit happens, right? But this is a race car. It sees 8,000 RPM all the time. This thing barely sees 4,000 RPMs. I drive this thing like a grandpa. I just use it to tow vehicles, pick up projects, help people out, and then just daily drive it, and also drive it cross country a lot. So it has accrued just shy of 270,000 miles, and it still looks great. Interior's held up great, truck's held up great, badass sound system, super comfortable on the street. I love this thing, and it looks great. I can toss the other wheels I have on it, make it more of like a Bubba truck, or I can put the mall crawler wheels on it. I like the mall crawler wheels. Hate me for what you gotta hate me for. I don't really care. I have multiple sets of shoes everywhere. I can change the look as much as I want. I can pull the camper off, probably make it a little bit lighter. I've been wanting to do that. I just don't have a good storage space for it. But unfortunately, I gotta redo everything in this beautiful heat because I need a daily again because this thing does not have AC yet. So here is the announcement of my new build, which is going to be replacing this as a workhorse and hopefully as the long haul truck. This will probably be more on the short trips now, where the new truck will be on the long haul trips. So I am finally upgrading to a diesel truck. Now, which diesel truck? So I grew up working with my dad. He is a mechanic and a welder for a lot of dairies. So we did a lot of out in the fields, working stuff like that. And he has this baller. He would always have really decked out f450s. Well, I mean, they wouldn't be super decked out. He would fix them up and get them to a point where it's they were pretty badass trucks. They would have a crane, really cool service bed. He would have a welder on it, literally every tool possible, because we would be in the middle of nowhere working on pretty much anything. We're either welding a fence, drilling holes, putting cement, fixing tractors that the wheel fell off, fixing pivots, irrigation systems, pretty much anything and everything that you could potentially find in the middle of nowhere farms, we were fixing with that truck. So I've always wanted my version of the ultimate service truck. And then I did watch a movie. It might be a little bit corny, but whatever. I watched the newer Need for Speed movie, and there they had a really badass service truck called Beast. So that was an f450 with an 11-foot service box that had really cool roll-up doors. I've never seen that ever. Then later on, I did some digging, found out that service bed was $30,000. And knowing me, I'm a broke boy. I don't have that kind of money to drop $30,000 on a service bed. Sorry about that. Moving y'all around. But yeah, I don't have that kind of money to build that. Because then you still got to get painted, you still got to buy a truck, all that jazz. I'm trying to do it for under that, the entire truck build. But it just so happened that I may have found the actual service bed of that truck. So I did end up purchasing it for an undisclosed amount. I'm not telling anyone how much I paid for it. It was a good chunk of change. It hurt. I had to get rid of the black car. That's kind of why I sold it, because I needed to liquidate some money so I can have cash, so I could pay that, because I had to pay that in cash. There's no loan on it yet. So I got myself the actual service bed off the truck. Now, a little bit more about the truck. It is I believe it was a 2012 f450 200-inch wheelbase truck, and it has, I forget the name of the company. It'll come to me, but it has a very custom bed on it that I think it was built by First Response, and they essentially, this is like a firefighter's service bed, and they kind of toned it down because they're usually a lot bigger to carry a lot more tools, hose reels, all that jazz. They are very expensive, very, very expensive. So they only built one truck because this truck was given to the movie by Ford, so it had no VIN. That's kind of what you get when an auto manufacturer gives you a truck. They'll essentially give you kind of like a test bed truck for you to go kind of like blow up. So they don't really care about it. It was something that they were going to crush in the end anyways. So they built the truck got sold. Then later on, I think truck got impounded a couple times because they tried driving it on the street. And I think I heard something about the truck getting T-boned and destroying the cab on the truck. So the truck ended up getting torn apart like 8 years ago. It's been a very long time that the truck literally ceased to exist. That's why no one has heard of the truck. So the truck got parted out by a auto dismantler, and I'm losing the name, but it's in the desert in Southern California, like the east side of Southern California, Coachella. I think it's somewhere in Coachella. So I found the service bed while doom scrolling Facebook Marketplace, and I was like, "There's no way that's it." Contacted the seller. He told me the story of how he got it, a little bit more about it. Unfortunately, that was the only part he had. So he did not have the wheels, he did not have the header crack, he did not have the rear bumper, he did not have the front bumper, he did not have the custom tank side steps. So we're gonna have to figure that out. So I might have to be getting into some uncomfortable areas for myself and figure how to build those custom side steps, because they did look like waste oil tanks or water tanks. It looked almost like a fire truck that they painted blue. So I have the service bed. The next step, so that is probably the hardest part to find, number one. The rest can kind of be fabricated, unless hopefully somebody knows somebody that has one. So again, if you know anyone, I will put my email in the description. Please just email me if you either have the correct truck that I need, which is an 11 to 15. I'm looking more at like the 14-15s just because they have the better turbos, stuff like that, and potentially less mileage. It has to be an f450 in the color blue jean metallic, I believe is what the color is. It's dark blue, so it's similar to my Mustangs, maybe like a hair lighter, which would be a killer freaking combo. Imagine the beast truck towing this thing somewhere to like a race. It would be sick. But it is blue jean metallic is what I believe is the color combo. It is. But here is the caveat. It has to be essentially a cabin chassis truck. So what cabin chassis truck means that it is not a regular Joe Schmo truck. It never came with a pickup bed because the wheelbase is so much longer. A regular pickup bed wheelbase is like in the 163-inch or 170-inch area for a 4-door long bed, like a 4-door 8-foot bed. This one is 200. It's dumb. So this one is made to have an 11-foot service bed. So if it has like an 11-foot flatbed, hit me up, because that and just please sell it to me without the flatbed. I don't want none of that. I don't want to try and figure out how to sell it. Just please sell it to me with no service bed. I'll put some janky fenders on it and some trailer lights to get it home. I am willing to fly within reason for the correct truck, and especially if it's a dealer, that would help me so much more than if it was private sale. Just because I want to inspect some things. So has to be 11 to 15, prefer closer to the 15 with a better turbo and all that jazz. 6.7 power stroke, because I do want a diesel now, because this thing has just gone way too many miles and I'd really like the diesel. My dad has that similar year truck, and that thing is a powerhouse. It must be 200-inch wheelbase. So That is like, those are like the must-haves. It has to be blue, must have 200-inch wheelbase, and it must be diesel. Because again, I'm not dealing with no more painters. I don't want to deal with no more painters. Maybe if it was black, because we can hide the black panels and like the black underneath the carpet and stuff like that, because it'll kind of blend in with the blue. But the white, I can find them all day. I found them for under 10 grand. I found them for 5 grand. I've even found them for $4,000. It is just too difficult to hide the white per cost. And also dealing with painters, you already know my story. So please, not overly damaged. I may replace like a hood or a door. I wouldn't mind doing that, but not repainting an entire truck. Not doing it ever. So blue jean metallic, 11 to 15, f450 200-inch wheelbase. That essentially would be, or an 84 cab to axle ratio. That's essentially the distance between the back of the cab and the back of the axle is 84 inches. That's how to verify that it'll fit that service bed on the truck. I will rebuild the exhaust. I've already kind of talked to MagnaFlow. They kind of give me who to talk to, and they may help me out on rebuilding the exhaust. So that'll be super sweet if they can. So now what it isn't 100%, but I would prefer is if it was 4-wheel drive. I can convert it to 4-wheel drive. It is possible, so I wouldn't mind if I can only find a 2-wheel drive truck. I will convert it to 4-wheel drive. Screw it, I'll do it. And if it had a little bit of weight reduction, if you know what I mean. And then also some kind of inspection on that high pressure fuel pump, because, well, we already know what they do. So I do need just, the good hunky-dory that has a good high pressure fuel system, 4-wheel drive, and a little bit of weight reduction, but, beggars can't be choosers there. I just need it to be blue and the correct length, and the correct year, with the correct engine. That way we can build the most badass long haul tow rig that I think anyone has ever had. And it would just be so awesome. I would probably even end up daily driving that thing, just because it's sick. The wheels, I could probably find some super singles that are similar, some 37s, and then a lift, I can just get a generic lift. The front bumper is just a regular aftermarket front bumper, even though they are very expensive. I'll figure it out. I'll probably flip more cars or do some more stuff. I have already sold my supercharger that I had for this thing. I sold the Subaru that I had for a good chunk of change. Yes, I did end up spending some of that money on some other things, some personal reasons. But I think I can remake a lot of the money again. Screw it, I'll even sell my spare set of wheels for that thing. I don't care. I'll figure it out. I will hustle to be able to potentially afford to build this truck. So now that's kind of enough of me talking and like what kind of happened to the truck. So again, if you know if any of these parts are at, please email me, let me know, or comment down below. Shoot me some kind of like contact info, Instagram, whatever, and just let me know where they're at. I can't travel once I fix this thing to go pick it up. And yeah, so please enjoy me finally seeing the truck for the first time, or the truck bed for the first time, and how it went. It was very sketchy getting that thing on. It was a whole set of circumstances. This thing broke down in the desert. It sucked towing it was actually coming back from selling the Subaru, because I towed it out there because it was kind of like on the way. So I was like, okay, I'll go a little bit further, sell the Subaru. I'll have enough liquid cash to buy the bed. So I did that. And on the way there, it broke down. Luckily, I was, I think, like 60 miles away from Phoenix. Had a buddy that was nearby. Towed the truck back to Phoenix. Had to work on it in 110-degree weather to figure out what the fuck happened, until I finally gave up and figured that it was a stretched timing chain. Very unfortunate. Then the next day, had to load it by hand. Very difficult when there's only 2 people, and it's also 110 degrees. Got 0 sleep because I worked on it till like 2 in the morning in like 95-degree night weather, which is also crazy. Pretty much ate nothing, almost died of dehydration. I showed up to, like, if I sound a little weird, it's because I was so dehydrated. I don't know how I was even still standing dealing with the stupid thing. But lucky circumstances, I had a trailer. I was able to get a U-Haul. tow the truck to the spot. Super lucky that it was 99 miles from my house, and I'm USA premium member, all that stuff. Or not USA, AAA. I've had them like 10 years now. Best deal of my life. I don't give a shit what anyone says. Best bang for the buck. You need to get AAA. Like, get AAA. Get AAA. Oh my God, get AAA. If you work on any kind of project car, it'll save you. So 99 miles from my house, and it was also a U-Haul rental. So I was able to call U-Haul, tell them I'm dropping off the U-Haul there. Dropped it off there. Had a friend that lived about an hour away. He is a saint and a godsend. Thank you, Mo, again, from the bottom of my heart. You saved my ass that night, because I had to get that bed out of there before closing and somehow figure out a way to get it home. So we were able to get the truck bed on my trailer, very sketchily, using my trailer ramps as fork extenders, because how the guy was loading it, he was kind of damaging the bed, which still a little annoyed about. Got to figure out how to fix that, how to fix the damage on the bed. But we'll get there when we get there. It's not going to be perfect, but it'll be nice. We got it on the bed. He came, picked it up, drove it all the way to my storage area, dropped it off. We ratchet strapped that thing with like 10 or 15 ratchet straps. It was insane how many ratchet straps we have on that trailer. Once I go and pick it up, I'll show you guys just how many ratchet straps I have on that thing, just to make sure it didn't fall off, because it is huge. And he got it home, and then I had to get a tow truck. He took me home, went through the world's slowest gas pump I've ever experienced in my life, through one of the curviest, sketchiest roads I've ever experienced through my life, on a tow truck with my truck, a lifted truck on the back of a flatbed. So it was crazy. And then I did not get home until 2 a.m. Monday morning. Mind you, I left my house Saturday morning at 7 a.m. I got home Monday morning at 2 a.m. On the back of a tow truck. So, and I didn't eat. I was trying to chug Gatorades as much as I could, but I mean, when you're super stressed out and kind of like in the zone, you're stressing out. You're not worrying about eating and stuff like that. So, I got home just reeking, just smelling so bad. Had to jump into the shower. I think even the shower like kind of rehydrated me. That's how badly I was dehydrated. I almost died for that freaking bed. And then someone offered me a stupid amount of money the very next day, and I said no, because I almost died for that stupid thing. I'm gonna build it. That's how committed I am to this freaking project. It's gonna happen, whether it takes a year or 2 years. I've already had it a couple months, because I bought it the date after I bought the white Subaru. Now that the Subaru's gone, my supercharger's gone, the black Subaru's gone. I've sold a bunch of other little parts here and there that I've been stacking up in my garage, just so I could kind of liquidate a lot of the cash, get it back in my pocket, so I can build this freaking project. So please, this is 20 minutes of me rambling. There's also going to be probably like another 20 minutes of me getting the bed. So here you go. Here's the footage I shot. If it's horrible, I apologize. I was delirious on how dehydrated I was. So enjoy the video. Hope you liked it, and hope you guys tune in for the Beast F450 build project. Meanwhile, I'm gonna get back to work on this stupid thing, get it back up and running. And if you have a truck, email me. I'll leave my email in the description, Instagram also, and hopefully we can find a truck and I can properly video that and we can get it. So I'll catch you guys later. Enjoy the video, little footage I have of me getting the service bed. Deuces.